guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to show you a quick one. I get asked loads and loads how to do ombres, especially gel polish ombre. This one's a cheat. It's gel polish with acrylic powder. So I'm going to jump right in, grab my trusty display tips, stuck to a cuticle pusher with pink tack. I'm going to be using for this pink the Wow Bow gel polish, and this colour is Mythology, which is 115. We do the same colour in acrylic, so you can do that as well in acrylic ombre. I'm going to use a dazzling yellow, which is one of the new colours. It's so bright, so bright, with a bit of sparkle in it. We're not using monomer, although we are using acrylic, but even though we're not using monomer, I did want to just slip in a fancy dish, because you know how I like a fancy dish. So here's my fancy dish for this video. It's so beautiful. That's what I'm using for monomer at the moment when I'm creating my sets. Yeah, it's an exciting fancy dish. Anyway, back to the tip. These gel polishes, they only really need one coat, as you'll be able to see when I pop this on. I mean, it's individual preference, but you can see how good the coverage is with these gels. They're really thick, they're really pigmented, and they do self-level really beautifully as well. So this method is really good for putting over the top of acrylic enhancements, but also this is brilliant for really quick ombre on your natural nail clients that only have gel polish. So I'm just popping that into Cure really quickly, and I'm going to edit that. 3, 2, 1, look at that, super. You can see how good the coverage is with that. So usually with gel ombre, I will fuss and fanny around for ages and ages with an ombre brush, and it just drives me mad. So what I'm going to do is just grab a pigment brush. Now this is just a cheapy one that I got off of the internet, just a soft bristled pigment or glitter brush. You can pick them up from loads of different places. I won't link it in because I can't remember where I got mine from. And then the gel polishes from Wow Bow leave a sticky layer. Don't remove that sticky layer. Literally cure it and take it out of the lamp, leave the sticky layer on, grab your pigment brush and the acrylic powder and start dabbing that on. Now I know that doesn't look really pigmented. The camera doesn't quite pick up how bright that yellow is. It's literally like climbing inside the sun. It's so bright. It is brighter than our Wow yellow. And it's got glitter in, so you know, amazing. Dust that on for your ombre, starting from the bottom, or if you want to ombre from the top, start from the top, or if you want to do a vertical ombre, start from one side, whatever you like, but just keep dabbing it on. Don't forget your sides, and then as you walk it up the nail, just dab on less and less. So dab your brush into the powder to get a good brush full. Start at the end and walk it up, so as you go up the nail, the powder comes off the brush and it gets less and less and less, which gives you your ombre effect. So once you've got it all on, give it a quick brush and get the excess off. Now if you want to deepen that colour, brush your excess off. You can even use like a fluffy brush, but remember that you've got the sticky at the top still of where you've not put the powder on, so the tacky layer. Pop on a coat of base coat straight on top of your powder. Cover the entire nail. Remember that because there is some loose powder, you will get transfer, so maybe use one side of the brush for the top, one side for the yellow. Before you put that brush back in your base coat, wipe it off, because you will transfer some of your powder back into your bottle if you don't. So do a decent layer of base coat, and I'll show you why. Pop that into the lamp to cure it completely, full cure. Not only will that trap that powder in, but it also gives you another sticky layer, so you can go back to your powder with your pigment brush, climb inside the sun all over again with the dazzling yellow, and deepen that colour at the end, so you get even more of a ombre effect. Now obviously a lot of people do these with pigments, pure pigments. Acrylic powder isn't pure pigment, it's pigment mixed in with acrylic, usually a clear or a white base or a colour. So you're not going to get as much of depth of colour with acrylic powders. But if you don't have pigments, these are perfect, absolutely perfect. And I'm going to show you a few different colours and a few different techniques and effects that you can get just from doing this. And it just means that with the colours and the powders and the gels that you've got, you can do quick and easy ombres, quick and easy ombre or smoke effects with the kit that you've already got, which is just ideal really, because we all like to be able to do more with what we've got. After you've done your second coat, or if you even want to do another one, just chuck on another layer of base and then go back onto your tacky layer. Once you've finished, put a layer of top coat on. Sometimes if you haven't quite brushed everything off, again you can get a little bit of loose powder, wipe that brush off. You see a little bit of transfer on the brush, wipe the brush off just onto a bit of tissue or something. Don't put it back in your top coat. I actually have one bottle of top coat for glitters and one bottle of top coat for flat colour, just in case I get transfer anyway. I don't know if anybody else does that. But there you go, that's the result with the top coat and the shine, and it is immaculate as ombres go. And how easy and quick was that? I mean, we're 6 minutes into a video and I've fannied about and I've shown you all the labels and, you know, stood there with the stick. So quick and easy really, and if you're doing a full set, even quicker. So I've gone back in again. I've got another pop stick with Mythology, which is 115, and then I'm going to use Enchanted, which is number 126, and we do this in gel polish as well. So exactly the same colour, so exactly the same technique and method. I'm going to go a bit further up the nail with this ombre. Grab your brush, a pigment brush, and I think I'm going to do 2 coats of this. Although this is incredibly pigmented, when you use this as an acrylic and you use it with the monomer as it's intended, it does go a completely different colour to the powder that you're seeing on this pink nail. It's much deeper, it's much more vibrant, but again, these aren't pigment powders. They are acrylic powders, but they are incredibly good for this particular effect on nails, on the gel polish. It's just another little string in your bow, another tip and trick, just to be able to add to your services, I suppose. I found this method for me was just so much easier than doing a gel polish ombre, which is literally the bane of my life, and every time somebody asks me for it, I just think I'd rather do a full set of sculpted reverse French acrylics, which any tech will know is probably their nemesis as well. So after you've dabbed on and walked up the nail and got your ombre effect, again use your base coat to pop over the top. Make sure you cover everything, all of the powder, because you need to keep all of that in. Pop that in to cure it again, and like a ninja, there it is, it's completely cured. And again, you've got your tacky layer. Don't remove your tacky layer. Go back into your powder with your pigment brush and pop another layer on just at the end to give you a bit more of an ombre effect. So the most of the powder goes towards the end where you want the vibrant colour. Walk up the nail with the product, just dabbing and brushing the whole time, just to try and get a ombre effect, so a gradient or a blend, and you'll be able to see it as you go along, what needs more, what areas need more. You can do this in French. I did attempt it with French, with a pink and then the white, super white powder, which I won't say it was unsuccessful. It did work, but I did have to do about 4 layers of the white because it isn't a pigment. It's incredibly pigmented white when it's used with the monomer, but as a dust on gel, if you like, it took a lot of building up. So what might be worth trying if anybody wanted to do the French, I mean, It's a lot of faffing because it would take maybe 4 or 5 layers of the white powder and the gel base coat to layer it up to enough density to make a decent French, but it's probably still less faffing than a gel ombre. Try it. If anybody can figure it out better than me, let me know. I would love to know. So that is the pink, sort of purpley, pinky purple gradient. That was Enchanted, which is one of my favourite colours. So beautiful. And then just lastly, I'm going to show you how well, this is another one of the brights. This is Wow Pink 146. Again, we do it in gel polish, so you could do this as a gel polish ombre if you're really clever. I'm not, hence why I find tips and tricks around stuff. So again, it's the same gel base. It's Mythology, which is 115, and then the Wow Pink, just dusting that over the top again. And you can see that these brights, some of them do just show up better. Whether it's just picking it up better on the camera, I'm not really sure. I do think though that I'm going to try a load more colours with these, because it's actually really fun. This looks like a lot of work, but it's because the nails are so long. These are display tips, but actually if you were doing ombre on like salon length nails, I don't think that this would take anywhere near as long. I think you could just, honestly, probably bash out a full set really, really quickly. You think like dusting them all down and then whacking a base coat on in the lamp, do the other, you could dust the other hand and have a base coat on by the time that hand came out of the lamp. So yeah, I'm probably going to try it. I'm going to try it once I can have clients, which would be ideal. I want my clients back so much. I think I'm just putting a top coat on this. I can't actually remember, but I'm pretty sure that I was quite happy with one coat for that one. Yay! So this is a completely different effect. This isn't going to be an ombre at all. I'm going to go in with 101, which is super white, which, as I said, the powder is really pigmented. I've never really got on with white acrylic from any brand particularly, because they all seem to be either incredibly dry or incredibly runny. Wow Bow's super white acrylic is the same as all of the other acrylic, so it's like a sort of, I would say it was a medium system, but it's not drier than everything else, so it's not much runnier than everything else. It's the same, which it should be, in my opinion, which is just like. So anyway, here's the white. I'll shut up rambling. So I'm going to take that really gorgeous dazzling yellow, which is G658, and then I've got Wow Pink, which is 146, and that is also Wow Green, which is 144. And I'm just dabbing those on in a bit of a random pattern over white. Now I've used white because, well, if you're going to use those sort of bright colours, white is always the colour it's going to show up the most against. But you could use any colour really. I mean, you could use a really like a nice pale yellow, and you could then do the pink and the orange on top, Wow Orange, or you could use any colour. Experiment and then tag me in the Wow Bow Facebook support group, or put your work on Instagram and tag me on Instagram, because I would love to see loads more of these. This would be amazing. We need to start a trend. And then you've got like the sparkling from the dazzling yellow as well, which is really gorgeous. And I love that I've got all these colours. For anybody that hasn't seen my shelf of goodies, I'm going to put a post up on Instagram, so have a look for that, because I had a massive delivery the other day and finished off pretty much the whole collection of Wow Bow, which is immense. There's the finished article, which is really, really gorgeous. I could see me putting some spider gel or something over that, or even like a geometric design. Just lush. One last thing that I am going to show you is that you can use the same effect with your glitter acrylics. So instead of going out and buying a million loose glitters, you can use your glitter acrylics. Now we do, Wow does a glitter gel and glitter acrylics that are exactly the same, but they also have glitter acrylics that they don't sell in gel. So using this technique, you can effectively get all your glitters from your acrylics on gel polish clients, which is amazing. So I'm starting this time with a black nail, which is 102. I'm using these two powders, Glamour, which is G607, and Laser, which is G618. And these two do come in gel polishes, after me just saying all of that to you. I'm basically making myself out to be a liar, really. I should have used one that there isn't a gel for, but anyway, let's forget that and just look at the sparkly beautifulness of all of this. And it's still all over my desk now as well, which is lush. I'm not even sure I'm ever going to clear out. It was actually in my dinner earlier, which was cool. So back into the pigment brush. Enough about my dinner and my glitter. And literally just dab it. And I think I was going to start as an ombre, and then I ended up as some sort of weird diagonal. Obviously Wow do a black with holographic glitter in that is called Night Sky. But I just wanted loads and loads of glitter because I'm really greedy when it comes to glitter. And the sparklier the better. And anybody that knows me will know that that is true. So yeah, I just went for a little diagonal. You could do a swoosh, you could do a diagonal, you could literally recreate an acrylic set on gel polish clients, and that is the beauty of being able to have the same acrylic and gel colours. So I've gone in on a diagonal with that, and my phone was just playing silly buggers at this point as well, and it kept going out. So what I've done there is I've popped a coat of base coat on it, and I've started going in with the laser to get the chunkier stuff on. I think my phone's going to cut out again in a minute. There you go. So this is like the finished article with the top coat on as well. But anyway, you can use any of the glitters like that. Just make sure that you get your top coat over the top. Some of them might have a little bit of a rough surface on. You can double top coat, and that should even it all out. Or you can top coat once and then buff it to make it a little bit smoother, and then top coat again, and that will give you a perfect surface. Thanks so much for watching. Hope it helped. Please feel free to leave me a comment.